Okay, so you want to own a campground. We're going to talk about a couple things in this one. I'm trying to make these shorter so it won't be too long. Sometimes I look at these all like I'm too long-winded. So anyway, real quick though, if you hear this chime in the background, whatever you do, don't think of the Zuber Brothers' Old Black Water, because that's what I think about every time I hear it. But anyway, so I guess since I'm doing these videos, YouTube is just trying to decide, what I want to watch. So it started throwing up more of these, campground ownership things. I saw one last week that I thought was pretty interesting and I thought may be helpful. It's called RV Park Business Plan. And I'll put a link in the first comment for this one. It is a video about how to make a business plan, basically. Sort of self-explanatory. But anyway, so you can take it and put in, how many sites, what kind of rate you're going to charge, occupancy, and it fills out, other things. Of course, that's the main, and it, it gives you a business plan. It has it written down. You put in the name of your campground and all these things, and it sort of does it for you. And it's $50. So I thought that was a pretty cheap price to have something that you could take with you to the bank or whoever. But before you get to that point, you can use it as, okay, I'm looking at these 4 campgrounds. What would each of them do if I use the same rate and the same occupancy? What if this one is someplace I think the occupancy would be higher? You can do a lot of things with it just to play and see. I think it would be good for us just to try different scenarios to see what happens if somehow we can get our occupancy up higher, or if we changed our rates a little bit, or if we added a few sites. So all those things sound like pretty good for $50. So like I said, I'll put a link in there, and if you have a question about it, I'll try to answer. I don't know much about it, but I think it's a good idea for you. The second thing will be reservation software. So when we bought the place, the guy before us had a big sheets of paper, 12 sheets of paper that were 6 feet wide and 2.5, 3 feet high. I don't know, they're big. And he had them gridded off, and so the sites were down one side and the dates of the month were around all across the top, or vice versa. I don't even remember now. And if somebody wanted January 17th on site 30, you would go down and find it and write their name down. They also had like a form that was a carbon copy, so you'd have one side was white with, you'd fill it out, and the other one was a carbon copy, the same thing. It'd be their camper's information, length, dates they wanted, all that stuff. And that went on a clip, one of the big paper clips, hung on hooks for that specific site. It worked, you could do that, but it was hard to manage sometimes. I suggest spending some money and getting reservation software, a legitimate reservation software. Here's a few of my suggestions. 1, cloud-based. We have had our internet go down at the office, and we're able to come up here and log in at the house and still operate. We had our work camper during COVID work from her house some, and she could make reservations from there. So cloud-based is nice. The second thing I'm going to recommend is you make it sure, and I can't imagine why anybody new wouldn't, but make sure you have online reservations. If they can make a reservation online, it does a few things for you. 1, you're not on the phone talking to them, so that saves you time, saves you another employee even maybe. It allows them to pick their site without you having to do a lot of input. It allows for after-hour reservations. At some point in time, you're going to want to go home. Whatever hours you decide to work is up to you, but at some point you're going to want to go home. And when you're home, you're not making reservations. I've had reservations looking on our system at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I wouldn't have made that reservation. Would they still call? Maybe. Would they have made it the next day? Maybe. I don't know. But that saves, that person had time at 2 o'clock in the morning to make a reservation, so that's a good thing. Mistakes. If that customer is making their own reservation online, then there's no chance of you typing in the wrong date or putting in their email wrong or their phone number wrong. Now, it could still happen. They could do it, but that way it's on them. If something that we've had people show up in the past saying, "Hey, I'm here for my site," and you don't have them on the records, and who messed up. Was it us? Was it them? Are they at the right place? Are they the right date? So if they make online reservations, then they're going to have a confirmation number. They're going to have, something to look that site up with. You'll still have their name and all. You type in their name and find them. And if they're supposed to come in tomorrow instead of today, if you have a site, that's fine. But if you don't, you say, look, you made this reservation and you put in for tomorrow. So those kind of things can save you from a lot of heartache. It's also good because most reservation systems now have a point of sale system, which is for your store. So you can keep all that information together. When you look at your financial information on your software, it's tracking everything. It's tracking your sites, it's tracking your store, it's tracking your propane, whatever you have in there, you can tell from one place how you're doing. So say for example, June of this year, you can look and say, okay, what did we make June of this year versus June of last year? You can pull those numbers up and look. All that stuff is nice. It's nice to be able to know. Did changing the price of our sites make a big difference? Well, yeah or no, or it hurt us or it didn't or whatever. All that stuff collects. We don't do it, but that system is going to collect emails. So if you want to do constant contact or something and send emails out, hey, we're having a special, this coming month, whatever, you can do that. Another thing it's good for, like I said, as far as the tracking goes, you can look at each year and say, okay, the week before the 4th, we're slow. We're not full. What can we do to fill up that week? Well, maybe that's a week you have a special activity. You plan something different. You do a activity. You have a special. We'll give you another 10% off for this week, and whatever it is to fill up. You have those records. You can see over a period of time. Now, our system, we've just had 2 years now, so we don't have a long track record with it, but I've really liked it so far, being able to see a whole year back and knowing what we did last year. So that's my 2 things for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. You can place a comment. I try to get back with you. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your search.